looked like he was going for it.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have a key.
Hi, everybody.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. If you've been tuning in, welcome to Live from Rabs, from inside Rabs Country Lanes.
Yep.
Here it's a nice day out there today.
It is a little chilly, but it's nice and sunny, which is nice to see.
Sunny, 54. I was out there yesterday. It was nice too. Go for a walk. I hope people are taking advantage a little bit of the nice weather, as long as you are, of course, distancing yourself
from other people,
from your neighbors as you're walking through the neighborhood. The exterminator has arrived. Hey, Rob. So usually when Rob's not visiting us, he's been tuning in to our show. So thanks, Rob, for keeping our place pest-free during this time.
Thank you.
You're the best. You need someone Val exterminating. He did not pay for that, but he might pay for that another time.
We're going to explore.
Hey, I wanted to share something first. Because if while it's on our heads, we probably should remember to do it, because then we forget to do it. So of course, we've been asking you to share your bowl from home photos and videos, and we love so far what you're sharing with us. And we got one that came in last night. It's a photo, and I'm waiting for a video. This is from the Courtney family. There were some funny comments about Sarah bowling on this post, and I'm hoping that we get a video of Sarah bowling with her boys. I think it's great. So this is the side of their house, and they're bowling. I don't know, bowling ball. It looks a little beat up.
It looks a little beat up, and it looks like there might be an obstruction in the ball return or gutter. Something's going on up there. If
you could get some air, you could probably get some air if you hit one of the cracks. I think that's awesome. And they have 10 pins, unlike the Salvatore. So
right.
We might have to send a few more pins over to Billy and Teresa when they bowl, so they could bowl at home. So you want to share and show everybody else.
Yep.
There's some fun creative ones out there.
There's some interesting things going on. I think I might do something this weekend. I've been digging around in my garage a little bit, so I might have something.
So you think we get Presley the ball?
He's going to want to chase after the ball. I don't know if he could
throw the ball. And
how many pounds is your lab?
He's about 95 pounds. So he's not really a lab. He's a mix. He's a mutt, really, but he's a big guy.
He's a big guy. So maybe you do this. Maybe you get a ball and he chases the ball, body bowls into the pins. Yeah.
There you go.
He was here the other day, and you should make it happen.
We're going to make it happen next week. Look for a Presley.
Bowl from home featuring the one and only Presley. How old is Presley now?
He's 4.5.
He's cute. I was excited to see him. I haven't seen him in a while. He didn't give it two butts about anybody else, but
he enjoyed having the parking lot all to himself. That he enjoyed.
A quick shout out to the SIEDC. The SIEDC, the Staten Island Economic Development Corp, started a live show 2 days a week to speak to their members about what's happening in our community, the business community, and check it out. Tuesday there this morning. We got a good show today.
Yep. We have a super show lined up. We have a Tannya Roumimper, who is a world champion bowler and a PWBA standout, will be joining us. Where is she joining us from?
We're going to have to ask her, because I don't know where she is right now. She's going to have to share.
She's giggling on the bottom there. So she's going to have to share her where she's quarantined at. And
then it's Thursday, so we've now made Thursday Food Thursday, and our good friend Pam Silvestri is going to pop in and give us a little update on a weekly check-in with Pam. So we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk bowling. That's all we need in the world.
Bowling
and food. That's all
about it.
Yeah. And Flo, Flo is a big fan of Tanya's, and so Flo had a great question for Tonya. That'd be awesome. I can't. Sometimes our guests, our visitors, love to share their personal stories and comments. Hi, Tonya.
Hi, Tonya.
Oh, I have to unmute you first. Now let's try that. Hi.
Hi.
Yay. That happened to me this morning on the same platform. I was talking, and then the person running it didn't unmute me, so I just did it. Well, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me. I have nothing to do, so this is great.
Well, thanks. So we certainly appreciate that. So where are you calling in from? Where are you quarantined?
I'm actually in Marion, Iowa now. It's kind of like Cedar Rapids, Iowa. But yeah, I'm in Iowa.
Is that where you live? Do you live there?
Yes, correct. I've been here since last year, 2018. No, 2 years ago. It's been here 2 years ago. So
How do you pick Iowa?
it's a really good question. A lot of people asking me that, like, why there's so many city in United States, and I picked Wichita and Iowa. But bowling bring me to Wichita for Wichita State University, and bowling bring me to Iowa for Mount Mercy. So here I am in the middle of Iowa.
The middle of Iowa. I'm not. Hey, I'm sure it's a wonderful place. We have friends out there. So, and now we have another friend. Tanya's out in
There you
Iowa.
go.
So, I would imagine culturally it's so different.
It's so different. Like the only thing they have in Iowa is cornfield. If you want to see cornfield, come to Iowa. They have a lot of it. But it's just really different because I grew up in Bandung, which is 2 hours drive from Jakarta. And Jakarta is our capital city, and it's really hectic and busy and everything. And Bandung also quite the same. And when you come to Iowa, it's literally, I'm not saying there's nothing here, but it's just really quiet here.
So since it's Food Thursday, do you struggle with finding good food there?
In Iowa, kind of ish, yeah. Like good food for me is of course Asian. I love Asian food. It's anything Asian, I like it. Ramen, sushi, bubble tea. Like bubble tea, the nearest one to my house is literally like 20 minutes away. So it's kind of struggling, but I cook a lot, so it's kind of helpful. And the one thing that I surprisingly like a lot, which is nachos pizza. I never tried it before, and I don't know if it's an Iowa thing or something, but I do like it, and I try it when I'm here. So
We're from New York. We've got the greatest pizza in the world.
Yes.
So
I cannot disagree with that. New York has the greatest pizza. So
and you talk about sushi, but I haven't had a bubble tea in 3 weeks. I haven't had sushi in 3 weeks. I'm struggling. I am. This is hard because my sushi place is closed, and even if I wanted to consider another one, they're closed. So I'm struggling a little bit too. Access to food hasn't been easy. Yeah. How long have you been? It's different here around the country. So we've been in isolation. We've been under quarantine for 16, 17 days now. What has it been like for you guys?
Pretty much it's the same. The quarantine start, I still remember because it's the day before sectional, and I supposed to go to Illinois for the sectional, which is March 11, I believe so. Right? I might be wrong, but the week of sectional, we need to leave at 4 p.m. because it's only 4 hours drive from Cedar Rapids to Illinois. And literally at 11 p.m., we get the news that it was canceled. And since then, I've been just staying home and try to not get out as much. The only thing that I get out is literally to the grocery store. That's about it.
You a junior? Your last year at college. You have 2 years left.
I will graduate in May, but I'm not. I'm as an assistant coach. I'm not. I'm not bowling anymore. I'm done with that.
I was gonna say my time frame is when you said that my time frame is off because you were going back to 13, 14. When did you finish up in When did you take over the role as the assistant coach?
2018 actually. 18, 19, 19, 2020.
And so now how did that transition feel? So being a player on a team, bowling, and here you are, you're coaching.
For me, it's really hard because when I get the offer to become a GA in Mount Mercy and try to be assistant coach and help the team and so on and so forth, I'm so excited because this is the thing that I can give back to bowling. I've been there for 4 years. I know how hard it is to become a student athlete, juggling with like all the practice and traveling and homework and all stuff. So I'm so excited to like share my experience, not really in the coaching part. It's like become like I was a student athlete before, and to be able to share that to other people, I was really excited. But then when I in the role to become a coach and something like that, and I found out how you cannot really be friend with them because it's a different role. There's really a lot of like fine line that you need to like, okay, there's the line that I'm still your coach, it's not your teammates or your friend. And when I get more stern or angry kind of is to them, they will like kind of talk back to me and I talk back to them again. That's kind of hard for me. And then there's a lot of time that I need to travel with the team, but at the same time, I also have another tournament that I can bowl that I need to choose, that I cannot travel. For example, earlier this year for the US Open class with US Open PTQ class with the Hoosier Classic. So I cannot bowl that tournament for the US Open because I need to go to Hoosier Classic. Is one of the biggest tournament in college bowling. So that is kind of hard. And to be in that position for 2 years and choose to not bowl for coaching is really hard because no matter what, I still want to be the one that throw the balls.
Yeah.
So coaching really helped me a lot. They have a lot of things that I learned, and I can see that myself is more patient now when I bowl because I didn't see it last time. But it's really hard now because my focus is still in me and I still really want to compete. So I'm going to take a break from coaching and going back to my competitive self for a bit. Maybe in 5 or 6 years, maybe I will come back to coaching again.
Those are tough decisions to make because you do want to probably take advantage of the opportunity to compete while you're younger and feel like you still kind of have that edge. But then when you love coaching, you don't want to give that up either. So it's a tough decision.
You really need to choose because like in the shoes, you're also thinking about those student athletes that give everything, go like showing up to work out, showing up to practice, still juggling with their homework and everything. And then I told them, I'm sorry, I will not be in this tournament because I need to bowl this tournament. It's really hard to decide that. So I feel like it's not fair if I keep doing this because I like it. I love coaching because I can learn so much that I couldn't learn before. But at the same time, it's not fair for all the student athletes in my team if I leave them in a tournament. Even though it's only 1 or 2 tournaments, I still believe like I don't want to be in that position when I already give everything and suddenly during the tournaments, like my coach cannot be there, like.
Yeah.
And there's a handful of players that are in the same boat. So I would imagine making that decision, it's not easy. And I'm sure, and you said it, you have a better appreciation for what the players are going through as their coach because you went through the same thing. So separating yourself, no matter even outside of that, separating yourself from a friendship and a coach is always difficult.
Yeah, it's really hard.
It's even more when the age gap is much closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard. Yeah, that is the thing that I didn't see it coming. I thought like it will be easy, but when you need to pull one of them or something and tell them like that's not okay, and we are only different like 3 years, it's kind of hard. Like who I am to tell them to do that? Like I'm only like 3 years older than them. Like
you're the boss. That's why. You're their boss. That's why.
So, Tanya, you grew up in Bandung.
Bandung, yes, Indonesia.
Yeah. So, what was the youth league structure, or how did you bowl when you were a kid? Was it a normal youth league structure like we would have here, or was it different?
It's really different. That is one of the reasons why I'm here. The most question that I get when people ask me is why in state? Like, don't you love your country? Because bowling back home is kind of hard. It's a hard sport, and we don't have really nothing. If we're going back to like 20 years ago when I start bowling, we don't have the youth league and junior gold and all stuff like in state. And I'm lucky enough that I have parents that love sport. Both of them was a national athlete before, so they love the sport and they know how sport can give to a person. That's why since I'm young, since I'm 4 years old, I already like do a lot of kind of sport. I was in swimming class, I was in tennis court, and just to like see what I like, that what my parents put me in. And then when I'm 11 years old, they introduced me to bowling. And pretty much my father is the one that come to the bowling alley every single day to train me, because he was actually an ex-national coach for windsurfing, and he went to Olympic in 1998. So he doesn't really know bowling, but he is a good coach. So he kind of like learned the basic and bought those DVD and books and stuff and learning about bowling, and actually teach me how to bowl for the first 4 years, pretty much, 2001, 2004.
That's very interesting.
Listen, and somebody who's naturally athletic, certainly you could do any sport if you put your mind to it and you take the time and learn it. So that's really cool. So I was going to ask you how you got started, but that's incredible. Why bowling? What made them choose bowling?
Because they really want me, they really want my brother and I to go to windsurfing again. But since we live in Bandung, which is there's no ocean near us, it's 2 hours away. So they tired of doing those like back and forward driving. So they like, okay, let's play let's see another sport that my brother and I can do. And they introduced us to swimming, because my mom is a good swimmer, of course, because she is a windsurfing. She needs to swim in the ocean. If not, she will drown. So we go to swimming, but it's really hard. I don't know, like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning, and you need to like go to cold water. I'm dragging myself to do that. And then after you're done with school, you go back to the swimming pool again at 5 p.m., which is cold also, and you need to jump into the water again. And like I love swimming. I still swim here and there, but when I'm growing up, it just doesn't like interest me at all. And then tennis in the court, and it's hot, and I don't know. And then when my father introduced me to bowling, and it's inside, and you don't need to be under the sun, and I say, okay, let's do this. I can do this, and it's something new, because in 2001 that is Bandung have a bowling center. So it's something that I didn't know before. I feel like my 11 years old is just really curious about the sport, like what it is. It's like a pin and a lane and a ball that you need to like, it's just something that I haven't heard before, something that I haven't really know before. That's why I feel like the interest coming from that. And since that, it's just go downhill, the rabbit hole.
So we got it. You're a princess that wanted to play a sport indoors.
Pretty much. That's what everybody say. But yeah, but that's how it started, and here we are.
And if I need to talk about windsurfing, but so surfing it will make its debut now in the 2021 Olympics, and the access around the world. When you really look at a sport like that, you don't have access. To your point, you don't have access to it around the world.
Everywhere.
So it'll be interesting to see how many countries truly field some sort of surfing team, or how many athletes are going to come out and compete. because it's got to be it's going to have to be a relatively small amount. You think about the coastal countries that have access to it. Even the United States, it's predominantly a West Coast sport.
Yeah.
So it'll just be interesting to see how that plays out. So I would imagine your super strong legs are help on the bowling lanes. Interesting to see how many countries in the field. Hey Nez, remember the list of things that we learned?
Yes, I do.
It's all right. It's only episode 13. We still have 28 days to go, guys.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We should have it all down pat by then. Oh. So your father had to have your parents had to be somewhat so proud of the moment that you made Team Indonesia. Representing your country on the world stage and something that he had the opportunity to do, right? So what is it to see your child go through that? What does that mean what does that mean to them?
Okay, this is something that people might think I'm bluffing or something like that, but my father is the hardest human being in this planet. The hardest human being on this planet. I know he loves me. Thank God it's 1 a.m. back home, so he will not listen right the second. But he is the hardest human being in the planet because he never showed it to me at all. I know deep down he is so proud of me, and I know my parents proud and so on and so forth, but he just never showed it. He always showed it that there's something that I can do more. It doesn't matter when I get selected in 2005, which is I'm 15 years old, to be joining the national team for SEA Games in Philippines, and he was there. He supported with me. I bowled good. I didn't win any medal for first one, and he was like, good job. But then the next day he will just go back to the lane and he has tasks to do, and never really showing it. And then when I win the first gold in 2007, and he was like, well done, I proud you, love you. And then the next day, the same thing. There's another test. We need to go to World Youth, and it's keep going, and it's struggle. When I was in 17, 18 years old, my mom is totally different story. My mom was like, oh my God, that is totally different story. But yes, it's my dad's like that. All the night I feel hard, and we need to go back there again, and so on and so forth. And I thought maybe when I'm getting 17 years old, my dad will leave me alone. 17 years old is the sweet 16 at home. We don't have sweet 16. We have sweet 17. And nope, it's still doing it's still coming. I was okay, maybe when I'm 21, then I'm a grown-up woman and my dad will leave me alone. It's nope, until today there's always something that he always critique, and he always, he never really showing it to me. But I know that both of them proud of me, and I'm proud of myself where I am right now. But he always pushed me to be better each day and just never be satisfied with I have.
So you have the typical Asian parents.
Pretty much. Do you see that I'm the most I'm Asian? I'm just kidding. But yeah.
But when we speak about your dad, though, that's culturally too.
Yeah, not only culturally. There were a lot of parents whose kids are involved in sports, and I think that some parents coach from a place of they don't want you to be complacent. Maybe your father didn't want you to go, oh, I got here, this is good. He always wanted to show you there was more. There's always more, and you can always be better. Sometimes not so easy as a kid, maybe dealing with that. But, we get through it. And like you said, you've come to terms with that. Inside that you're proud of yourself and that he's proud of you too.
Yeah, definitely. One thing that I hope people that watch and have a kids that bowl in junior gold, or that have kids out there that watching this that have a dad like I do, is still, I didn't learn this until pretty much 3 years ago. Even though the intention of our parents is always, always, always want the daughter or the son to be the best. But at the same time, we are as human beings, we have our own mind. And my mental game was so weak. It's just because I think for so long that I'm not good enough. It's not because my dad tell me I'm not good enough. He never tell me I'm not good enough. He just keep telling me like, you need to be better at this. You can still do this. This is another test. But I'm telling myself that I'm never good enough. Like when I first come out in PWBA in 2016, I was like, why I'm here? Like this is, I'm scared. I want to win. I want to prove. I want to do all those stuff. And I have that mindset because I keep telling myself that I'm not good enough. So it's just need to like, that's one thing that I learned for the past 2 years, that how you tell to yourself also is really important.
That's a great point. Very good point.
That's good advice. So everybody listening, take that with you and know that that's speaking from the heart. Hey, so hopefully now when you win a PWBA tour title, Dad'll say there's always going to be that. Well, when are you going to win the next one, right? So there's just the next one and then the major. So you know that in your head. So talk about your experience on the bowling on tour. So you've got one top 4 finish. You've been bowling overall. You've got a great career out there. How does that feel?
How that feel is literally for the last 3 years, I've been trying so hard to fix my mind and my mental game. Just being on the PWBA tour to being out of the lane every single week for 12 weeks straight, competing with the best of the best and trying to not beat yourself that you are sucks. I'm sorry for the language, but
It's okay.
But that is pretty much how I can get better, because yes, I can throw it better. I can be more consistent. I can learn to make my legs stronger. I can use my legs stronger. I can learn different tools. I can different. There's so many things that I can learn, but I am good enough. Like I know that. Like my resume speak for that. Why I haven't get the title yet? It's not on my physical game, and I'm like in denial for so long. Like my mind is not strong enough. I always victim myself. So being in the tour for the last 3 years and being able to really sink in and see what is my, I'm not saying like disadvantage, but what the thing that is really important in my life right now as a professional bowler to get better is for me, is really all in my mind. Like I always, like for example, like the last year, the Women US Open TV show, it takes me kind of like a while to rewatch it. And when I rewatch it and I cry when I lost, like why I'm being a victim that I just finished second in like Women US Open. It's just not my day. I gave a good shot and the pin didn't fall. It's not my day. Why I need to cry like a baby and why I need to like feel like a victim? It was a good show. It was a good day. It's just a not my day. And I didn't see that ever in my 20 years of career. But I always victim myself a lot for things that didn't go my way, or for the things that I didn't strike, or for the things that I didn't choke, rather than to just seeing it as an experience in my life and trying to get better at that.
So do you think that a big difference between, and this is on the PBA and PWBA, the difference between those who excel and those who finish in 5th and 6th is their mental game? Is that a big? Yeah.
I will say like 95%, definitely, because the 5% sometimes the pattern or the characteristics the characteristics of the house suitable for certain player, but that is only 5% of it. Like I do believe is your mental toughness and how you see yourself truly Like when people say fake it until you make it, like it's no joke for me. It's literally like how you see yourself and how you see yourself to be on that podium and really believing it. Because some people can just say it, but some people do really believe they belong and they're good and they're like Shannon O'Keefe, Liz Johnson. Like no doubt, like they walk into the bowling center and they don't think they will win. They know they will. It's just like either this week or next week. If this week doesn't do it, it's like, okay, I do good. Let's move on. Like it's easy and cheesy right now that I'm saying it out loud, but it's kind of hard when you are in that position and you need to believe that you can do it. It's just hard. At least for me. I'm speaking for myself.
That's great, and you will win. You will have that title. It'll come. You're gonna have your moment. You're gonna have multiple moments. Time will tell. You know that.
So Stephanie is your roommate, right?
My room.
Stephanie?
No.
No?
Who do you room with on tour?
Who do you room with
when
on
you travel?
tour?
I room a lot with Danielle McQueen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I room a lot with her. She is my travel buddy.
So do you get a chance to break down maybe a little bit of your mental game? Has she been able to help you with that?
Yeah, I'm fortunate enough that we are not just a roommate, but we also a good friend. So when I'm struggling, I always like, hey, this is what I feel, like what do I do and everything. And she been like helping me a lot also with that. And I room with Missy and Carolyn LeGrain also a couple of times last year, and they've been helping me have been helping with that also a lot. So having a roommate that also your good friend is just a plus. It's hard on the tour, and to have someone that actually care and do love you is a nice feeling.
Yeah, you got to have someone that you can lean on for sure, especially a friend. Hey, before we let you go, I've got a question. Tell us about your proudest moment.
My proudest moment?
Yeah.
Actually, my proudest moment is actually going to finish my master's degree in 2 months. That is my proudest moment in my life, honestly.
And what is that in?
Strategic leadership.
Exciting.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited with that, and to just being able to finish it in different language than my own language is really something that I will cherish the rest of my life. Why a lot of people asking me like, why not bowling? Because like my father say, there's always something again. But this one is like, it's all in my mind that I'm like, that you need to do the homework, you need to go to the class, and you need to learn the subject. So it's something that I'm proud of.
Okay, what about your favorite bowling moment?
Okay, my favorite bowling moment. Actually, winning my doubles in SEA Games back-to-back with my double partner. 2019 and 2017, we won the doubles gold medal back-to-back. Not a lot of people can defend that title in SEA Games. And SEA Games is pretty much a big event back home. It's Southeast Asian Games. So that one is pretty good.
That's awesome. Is that a qualifying for other sports? Is that one of those qualifying events for Olympics?
That one is kind of like the Olympic, but it's only Southeast Asian country. So we have Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, Vietnam, Laos, Indonesia. So, and we have maybe 54-ish sport all together in one village, and for almost 10 to 15 days.
That's awesome. That's every other year?
That is every 2 years, correct.
Yeah. So are you ready to defend it? Are you ready to defend your title next year?
I hope so. Well, there's a challenge.
No pressure.
Nobody ever do it 3-pit. I don't think so. I have to look at the record, but I don't think no one I don't know. I need to like call my partner after this. But yeah, no one. I don't think anybody have a tripit, but that will be really awesome.
That's cool. You'll be a hometown hero. Well, hey, Tannya, thank you so much for joining us today. It was great to hear from you.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Anytime. The door is always open, so pop in anytime you want to say hello. We're going to be here for a while. Cool.
Will do. I hope you guys stay safe. I heard like New York is kind of bad, and I hope everybody stay home and stay safe.
We're trying, and so we're here with very few people in the building, trying to keep our own sanity, but keeping our distance, washing our hands, not touching our faces, which is very difficult.
Yeah.
But thank you for that.
Thank
we appreciate
you so
it.
much again.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. She's a sweet kid.
That breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
That's exciting. And I love the fact that you talk about somebody we've had the other athletes that we've had have bowled for their countries and represented their countries. And when you hear anybody from Asia talk about representing their country and bowling and representing, it's so different there than it is here. And so you have those events. We've got the Pan American Games, which would be similar, but it means so much more. In many cases, they get paid every time they earn a medal. It's very different throughout the world. Yeah. So, Tannya, that was awesome, and we appreciate you coming on. Hey, it's Food Thursday, and we've got a weekly check-in with Staten Island's food guru, the one, the only, Pam Silvestri.
Hi, Pam.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
Nice to see you guys. It's gorgeous out. I can't wait to get outside and bike ride or, play around with my kids. Yesterday we were jumping on the trampoline outside, and my stepdaughter got us these big bubbles so that you can, I don't know, what are they called? It's like a big bubble that you can bounce around with. And
that sounds like fun.
Take some video. We would like to see.
That'll be priceless. I'm sure. Yeah. Anyway, how are you guys doing? How's Janeiro doing?
Good. We're hanging in there.
The studio here is okay. We're doing what we can. Yep. How are you? How are you holding up?
Okay. It's tough. I'm starting to hear about people in the restaurant business that are, they're sick, or people who have employees that are ill, which is a little weird. Yeah. I don't know.
I know.
Sad. It's really sad.
Kind of like a make or break week for a lot of them, I think, too.
Yeah, I think this is it. I think we hit a turning point on the 31st and the 1st. And I've actually put a column out today on the on SILive.com. It just sort of published fairly recently, so it's fairly high up in the river of information. And look, there's comments here. Cool. Hi, Ondine. Nice. And then you have Flo. Okay. Oh.
Ondine and Flo. Flo is worried about your hair. We've been talking about hair for the last couple of days.
Oh,
so
God.
Flo is excited about
listen,
hair.
I cut my bangs.
There's something
if anybody wants to see a video, that'd be great on how to cut my bangs, because I tried, but
there's something called coronavirus bangs. I understand. It's like
they're like this. I believe they're really high bangs. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. That's a good job. You did a good job. You got to see my children's hair. My husband cut their hair last weekend. It's starting to grow out, and it's special. So I'm sure we'll all have special haircuts. My son is right here, but he will not come. Well, can I just come here?
We couldn't keep him off before.
He's got the coronavirus pen. Check it out.
Coronavirus crew cut here. So, thank you. Okay, we're done.
We noticed the governor got a haircut today, and then of course he made sure to tell people that he did it himself.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah. I want to see that. I want to see proof. So what's happening out there today? I caught a little bit of you this morning, and then I got here a little bit earlier than usual. What's going on in the landscape of our restaurants the last couple of days and today?
Yeah, we have a lot of restaurants closing, a lot of places. I just actually spoke with Ryan McGinley from Flower and Oak, which is in Tompkinsville. It's a beautiful new restaurant, and he decided to close. It's just there's no point in it. He's donating some pizzas and things like that, but or planning to donate, but there's just no point in staying open. And also Peter Botros, he closed 3 of his restaurants. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. It was he closed Violet Cellar, Sophia's Taqueria, the Stonehouse, and it's really sad. There's like literally dozens of restaurants deciding not to continue. I ordered from La Rosa's Chicken Grill yesterday, and the lady who answered the phone said that the driver was terrified of cash, so they were terrified just generally, but they wanted everything on the credit card.
Yeah.
So, but
we saw people making that move in the last week or so. Peter posted a nice note last night. I happened to catch that, talking about, hey, they're going to do some emergency feedings, right, and delivering food, but they're just not able to keep it open and do for takeout and delivery. So if you're still hanging out, thanks for being patient. We lost Pam. We lost our feed. We just wanted to come back and say, thanks for tuning in today.
Thanks for being here.
We're glad this happened.
Oh, we are on.
I'm glad this happened at the end of our live stream. I feel bad because we got Pam on the phone. We started talk. We were referring to before about the restaurant scene and stuff. So Pam's going to come back and we'll get an update from her. So Pam, thanks for popping in. Tonya, thanks for joining us today.
Great interview. Really, really good interview.
She's awesome.
She is.
Pam's awesome too. So we'll get Pam back. We'll finish up that conversation and get that in here. We just wanted to pop in and say thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for joining us today. We've got today's Thursday, so we got the weekend. We're going to finish the weekend pretty strong with some guests. So tomorrow
we have Joe Ambrose from Wagner College. He is starting the first bowling college team on Staten Island, and hopefully he'll talk to us a little bit about what he's had to go through starting a program from scratch, and what his forecast is the upcoming season.
And then Pro Bowler Saturday.
Wait, also joining us tomorrow is going to be Janine Murphy.
The one and
from
only.
Newdorf High School, the one and only Janine Murphy. We're super excited.
And she'll be in for some entertainment value.
Yes.
And then the weekend, we've got Pro Bowler Saturday with Carolyn and Del Ballard.
Yes.
And we could probably tell lots of stories. I know we could certainly peg them for stories. And Stephanie Johnson's going to join us closing out the weekend. PWBA champion.
Oh, she's going to pop in on Sunday. Awesome.
Thanks for tuning in
That's
with us
good to know.
today. Yeah. We hope that you enjoy what we're doing here. We appreciate you taking the time. We just want to remind you to like and share whatever link we've got here. Ignore all the black screens.
Yeah, we have more to add to our list of what we've learned.
So I don't know what we've learned today. I just learned that technical support, somebody in IT is going to get a note today, so we could find out what might have happened here. But we're going to piece it together and get this up on YouTube, so it's all one piece and in one place. So you can go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, like it there as well. And thank you to Tonya and Pam. And although with extreme technical difficulties today, we're back in here. But Naz,
That was awesome.
we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.